Another episode of On the Road with the Loan Signing System with signing agent Melanie out in Kansas City. You're actually right outside of Kansas City, Missouri, right?
That's right. About 30 minutes. Yeah.
I love it. So, how many people are in your small town?
51,000.
51,000 people. So, with that being said, Melanie, how much money did you make last month as a signing agent?
$16,032.
You made $16,000 as a signing agent. When I say that in one calendar month, you made that. How does that make you feel when you say that out loud?
It's unbelievable. I know everyone always says that, oh, it's unbelievable. It is a great feeling to know that I'm working for myself, and I made that. It was great.
It's amazing. So this story, all these stories are inspirational. How about this? Melanie was able to make $16,000 in her 6th month as being a loan signing agent. How does that sound as well?
It's unbelievable. I mean, I started out, I just wanted to, I wanted to do 10 to 15 a week as signings or closings a week, and here I am. It was fun.
I love it. I love it. So before we get into your journey, there's a couple things I want to touch on. The fact is, like, you don't live in Los Angeles or Seattle or Miami. You're in Missouri, and you're in the middle of the country, and you're outside of a major city. You don't live in Kansas City, and you made $16,000. I mean, what would you say to somebody else who lives in a small town or somebody else who doesn't live in a major metropolitan city? I mean, do you think that they can do this, inspire someone?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think anybody, if you set your mind to it and you're willing to do the traveling that it takes to make it, you absolutely can. Yeah.
So, last thing before we jump into your story, there's some people going, okay, Melanie, $16,000, like that's hard to wrap my head around. So, if someone tells you, says, you can't make $16,000 in a month, like what would you say to them?
Yes, you can. That's not true. You really can. It's great. And I'm recruiting people all the time. I mean, you have student Kim Osborne, who is she's now a student because I had a signing with her, and she's like, I think I can do that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I didn't know that. So, $16,000 last month. How many signings was that? Just so someone can wrap their head around, how hard you are working, and to know like this is real. You can make $16,000.
Yeah, I did 148 signings last month. Yeah.
It's awesome. And
a lot.
It's awesome. And what's crazy about it is like you're in a small town, and we have obviously students all over the country. The funny part actually is I actually think it's easier to make money in a small town because obviously when you're densely populated, there's more signing agents. So if you can be a good signing agent in a small town, you can dominate that market pretty quickly, as you're showing.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. When you go in with no mistakes and you can get it done, and you just follow their system. It's not that hard to check in. It's not that hard to check out. It's not that hard to fax back if they need fax backs. Drop off by noon. Those are the things that you do, and you don't miss initials. I mean, all the things that you say is absolutely true. And they're like, oh, you're our favorite. We're going to call you, and then you become, the lender's favorite, and they request you. So it works out. It's definitely working out.
So let's just jump into your journey, right? So let's just kind of start from the beginning. I mean, 6 months ago, you weren't a signing agent. So kind of walk us through why you became a signing agent, why it was important for your family for this to actually work, and take someone else so maybe someone else can hear your story and their story.
Well, last February in 2019, I quit a job that I had for 10 years. I went into work one day and I said, I just can't do this anymore. I felt suffocated. I felt, unappreciated. I felt like I was, I was building this company for somebody else and not for myself. And every time I turned around, they were reorganizing my commission. I would, and I made really good money. It's not, it wasn't an average income. It was an above average income that I was making. And so my husband was not very happy with me. He's happy now. He's actually, he's really happy now. He actually is getting commissioned. His appointment's on, yeah, June 12th. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So, yeah, so that's gonna be great. But anyway, he wasn't very happy with me, but he gave me 6 months to figure out what I wanted to do. And we refinanced our house. I was about a month into my job search, and I'm 50 years old. I'm not young. I'm experienced, but most companies are looking for those young kids, and the hustlers. They don't realize that a 50-year-old woman is a hustler.
Right.
And anyway, so that was the we refinanced our house. The gal came in. I said, "Well, how'd you get this gig?" Well, she wasn't very helpful, so I figured it out. I signed up. Let's see. I signed up with your system on the 16th, and we refinanced on the 13th. So
Wow.
I got to figure it out.
A few things that I think are super inspiring, by the way, and really honest and raw. One of the things I want to touch on is, you're not the only 50-year-old who feels kind of slighted the fact that they think you're old and you like you said, your experience, and that you're a better hustler than a 24-year-old, and all you need is proof is your business. But I think that's
Right.
I think it's a real feeling, and I'm very thankful you said it. So, because you can't be the only 50 something who is like, wow, I'm 50, I'm looking for a new job, feeling a little discouraged. And so thank you for saying that, because I don't think, other 50-year-olds must be feeling the same thing. So I think that was really cool that you said that. Another thing I think is inspiring is, you're not the only person to feel unappreciated by whoever they work for. We all have our reasons. Yours sounds terrible, but everybody has their reasons. And so I think it was really, I
Right.
think I commend you, by the way, for not putting up with it, right? And because there's a lot of people who go day in and day out and know they need to make a move, but you made a decision that obviously worked out for the best. But I appreciate you saying that, because I know there's someone watching this right now who's like, I hate my job.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I mean, I really did. I wanted to make great money doing this, but honestly, I just started this so that to wait till I found something else. Honestly, I completely honest with you. We didn't discuss this, but I really did. I was waiting to, until a job came along, until my first month. And then my first month, I was like, whoa, no, I could do this. I had barely worked and I made good money. So from there, I was like, oh, I can do this.
Your income journey in a moment, but I think you said a lot of really cool things. Again, it's like, that this was going to be a band-aid. But I think what you realize, once you get that taste of like, my hard work is building my business, it's really
Yes.
difficult to go
It
back.
was fun. Yeah, I really don't feel like I'm working. I don't. I mean, I choose to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I choose to stay out until 10 o'clock at night. Some days I only do two assignments, and those are great days too. So I don't work on Sundays majority of the time unless I'm just, someone says, hey, I just don't have anybody else, then I'll do it. But yeah, it's
Did you have any experience in the mortgage industry, being a signing agent, being a notary, being a processor? Was there anything before being a signing agent that would make you think like, I could do this? So my point is, there's some people who think they have no experience as a signing agent, and so I'm not going to do this because I have no mortgage experience. Talk about that. Would you encourage another 50 something with no experience to become a signing agent?
absolutely. Absolutely. I think your age is only in your mind anyway. If you're capable of getting out of bed and going to work for someone else, you're capable of doing this too. It's nothing. It really is nothing. When you really look at the big scheme of things, it doesn't take me anything to get out of bed at 5:30 in the morning. It really doesn't. It doesn't take anything for me to stay out until 9 o'clock at night and then finish up. I don't feel like I'm doing it for anyone but my family. My family is my everything. My kids were amazing last month, but they are, and my husband too, but my family is my everything. And it's not so, it doesn't hurt as bad to work that hard, uh you know when it's
Yeah.
for yourself and you know you're building it for them.
You know, so speak to somebody, regardless of age, is somebody who has no experience. You had no experience before this business, and now it's $16,000. So, I mean, you had no previous mortgage experience, anything like that. Talk about that part of your journey.
Well, I mean, if you can read and you can, and you can point and sign and be nice. I mean, you have when you're at the table, just be kind and patient and I might even take 2 or 3. I'm getting closings done in like 30 to 35 minutes now. Whereas it used to take me 45 minutes, but I know those people, I know their kids' names and their dogs' names and that kind of thing within 30 minutes, of leaving there. I feel like we're friends. Well, you don't need to know everything. The signing part of it comes. I mean, if you can see their name on it and you can read directions, then you can do this.
I love it. Because I always tell people you don't need any experience, but everybody thinks I'm trying to sell a course, and so.
No, you really don't. Yeah, I agree.
It's nice to hear from a signing agent made $16,000 when 6 months ago she was out of work. And so it's really cool to hear that, no, I have no experience. Okay, cool. So let's go on to like the income journey. I know everyone's kind of dying to hear about it. And so you've been a signing agent for a whole whopping 6 months.
Right.
So let's talk about month number 1 and 2. How much money were you making month 1 and 2? Kind of talk someone through that journey to your 16,000 mark.
Month 1, I made 1,800. Well, month 1, I made 150. I only did 3 signings. And then what was it? 1,800 was my second month, or my first month really was 1,800. My second month was 2,400. And then my third month, I made 4,200, which I was super excited about. And then I had surgery and made a whopping 3,400. Darn it! I worked 11 days that month. And then in March, I made $6,000 or about 6,500. And last month I made 16,000. So it's crazy.
Well, I just smile just ear to ear when you say that.
I know. I just love it. I do. I have 3,500 on the books already for May, for the first week through the 8th. So I'm like headed that direction again this month. So I'm pretty excited.
Once you start getting the income levels, they all become sustainable, right? It's not a fluke. When you get there, it's not a fluke, and that's what you're going to start learning is, when you get to 16, like you'll sustain 16. And then when you get to 20, which you'll get to 20, you'll sustain 20. And that's the best part about this industry is then your next step, I mean, I'm going to say it out loud right now, is to own a signing service.
It is. I agree. I actually texted Robin yesterday because you put that on that she made 80 grand. And I'm like, how? So I text her on Messenger. I'm like, Robin, how did you do that? She's like, I have a signing service. And I'm like, we need to talk. I mean, seriously, that quickly. She was right there for me. So that was really nice.
And so Robin learned how to build her signing service through the conference last year. So there'll actually going to be a signing service course out for you to help scale, the same one that she used. So
all right.
Got you, girl. You know this, right? I have everything scaled.
I'm good. I'm right there. I am. I'm right there. I definitely am.
Yeah, because when it was 150 closings, like, I mean, you might be able to do an extra 20 closings a month and you're going to be capped out with time. But right when you get to like that 160 to 170, it's like, it's signing service time. But like I said, I have a course for you. Don't worry, I'm gonna give it to all you students. But yeah, it's the same course that she used, and she's doing $80,000 a month. And in fact, I think she actually hit 6 figures last month with her signing service. So it's the best business ever, right?
It is, and you can do it from anywhere. That's my goal, is to be able, if I want to be, if I want to be anywhere in this world, I could be and still run my company. That's my goal.
My goal for all you students is to start your own signing service. Like if I can build this, you can build this. I'm not any better than anybody else. I've just figured out a system, and now I'm teaching you guys a system. And so, the next maturation is teaching all you students how to build signing services. Robin's one of them, Laura, Kim, Bill Zanuga starting his own, Tracy Archer. I mean, they're happening all over. But I mean, I want you guys to have bigger signing services than me. That's my goal for all of you. You guys are so capable of greatness that I'm just so excited that you found your vehicle, Melanie. Like, this is
I
it.
have. Yeah, this is it. This is definitely it. You know, and my daughter is doing this now. We've got a whole, I think, you know, Kansas City's taking care of with our LSS group, and you know, Missouri could probably almost be completely taken care of. So I think I know the niche.
I love it. I love it. You know, let me inspire you even more. I mean, you know, like Robin is a husband, wife, daughter team, right? So her husband now
Are
runs her.
you serious? Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So her husband now
Okay.
runs her signing service. So he was a signing agent who was doing 10,000 bucks or more a month. They started the signing service. Now he runs the back end. And so no, this is a total family. Her daughter's a notary. Then you have Eric and Taffy Wagner. So we have a ton of husband and wife teams all throughout the entire LSS family. So it only makes sense to do it because, you know, if you can't do a signing, then the money stays in the family and they get it instead of going to a random notary. But yeah, Robin and Jason were doing, you know, $30,000 a month between the two of them forever. And then they realized, then I taught the course at conference. Once I taught the course at conference, Robin's like, look, we got to start a signing service. And now you know where they're at. So my point is, be inspired because you can do the exact same thing. And Missouri is right for an LSS student just to take it over. Like, you are like, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've got St. Louis not very far away. It's a great area.
Midwest. I mean, a lot of people think the money's just on the coast. I mean, Texas, Missouri, Chicago, like the Midwest is a ton of money to be made. And I'm excited to share your story. So let's keep on going with your story. So you're making $16,000 a month in your 6 month, but I think what is as inspiring about that, by the way, is the fact that within 6 months you're getting direct business. And I say that because we have students in our family who've been signing agents for 2 years who still haven't made that jump to direct because they're either intimidated, they're either scared, they're either whatever reason that is. So let's inspire people how that looked for you and how that worked for you, because, you know, within 6 months you're already working directly with title companies. So talk people through that part of your journey, which I think is as inspiring as the money you've actually made.
I actually was doing a signing with a gal. We were at Starbucks, and she said, "Oh, I used to do this." I said, "Oh, really? Where?" She said where it was, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "Yeah, just call them." And so I just called them up and said, "Hey, do you need any help?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll hire you." And I was like, "Okay."
What I don't want to overlook, and I think you're overlooking a little bit, is, you know, you just made a phone call. But, you know,
That's it.
people, when I say people, I mean some of our students, right? It is
Yeah.
literally, you heard there was a title company in town, you
Yeah.
picked up the phone, you called them, you said your version of the script that I give, and
Right.
you got a signing.
That's it. I got a signing. I showed them I could do some stuff. You know, they had their own people. I got it, and asked me if I would do a signing about 75 miles away at 9 o'clock in the morning the following day. And I was like, yeah, I can do that, you know. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. Anyway, so I did that one for them. And then, you know, I have 6 months experience. They typically, you know, want you to have 250 signings or 2 years experience. And I did a good enough job that they onboarded me, you know, that afternoon, because they made me fax everything back to them or scan back, you know, I guess to make sure I didn't stink.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so once I scanned everything back to them, they said, "Hey, you did an amazing job. We want to get you onboarded." And yeah, I still go out of town. I'm going, you know, 90 miles away for them on Thursday, and you know, another step back to the same place again in a week from now. So I don't mind doing that. I don't mind doing the travel. They pay you to travel anyway, so it's a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you said something that's really inspiring that I think that shouldn't go overlooked is, you know, your very first appointment with the title company, you drove 75 miles. You did $16,000
Yeah.
last month, but this coming month or this coming week, excuse me, you're going to drive 90 miles one way. The point I'm trying to
That's
make
right.
is that's what successful signing agents do. They do a go above and beyond. They do what other signing agents do, which is a loan signing system way. But the fact of the matter is you're doing $16,000 a month, but you're still taking the 90-mile away signings because you're creating value, you're being irresistible. And I don't want that overlooked, because some people think, oh, $16,000 a month signing agent, they have it just so easy peasy. No, they're just like you. In fact, they outwork you. That's why they're $16,000. So I want that to be inspirational to more signing agents, like, oh, I'm not going to take a signing that's 90 miles away. Well, that's why.
I haven't done a signing within 15 miles of my home. I probably only did 4 this entire month. Most all of my signings are anywhere from 25 to 40 miles from my home, from where I sit.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's kind of, I mean, I usually segue into like, what's one tip you give a signing agent, but I think you just kind of gave the tip, right? The tip is do whatever you got to do to make your clients happy and to feel irreplaceable. Absolutely. Talk through that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, anytime they need something, you know, I'll be, yeah, I can do it, you know, especially if my key people are calling me saying I need it, I'm doing it. I don't, you know, I'll shuffle things around. I'll make sure, you know, if they need it back by 8 o'clock, I get it back by 8 o'clock. I mean, there's no way around it. They're getting what they need. And it's worked well for me. You know, that signing service, I started April 1st with them, and I made $9,000, or not signing service, it's a title company. Made $9 grand with them in 1 month, in my first month. It's crazy. And I hooked up my LSS friends with them too, you know, so that they're making money too. Patrick Manning's making great money with that company. And then, you know, my Valerie Montavi, she was my everything.
This is why I love these interviews, is, you know, a lot of people don't realize the network that we've created with the loan signing system.
We have a great network, yes.
And I think that's something that was just unbelievable, right? You said something that, you know, Valerie, by the way, I love Valerie. She's been the loan signing system like almost.
Woo,
something what I love, and which is the loan signing system way, is like Valerie helped you. And now there's so much business. You said, look, I'm going to get someone else, another LSS student, into my title company too. There's not a level of competition between us. We all know that there's business for all of us. We can all eat. We can all have signings. We can all help our families. And I think that's beautiful that you're paying it forward to another LSS student when Valerie had your back, and now you're having Patrick's back. And I just think it's beautiful. And I don't want that to be overlooked, because I'm so proud of, and I can't take any credit.
It gives me chills when I hear you say it, because it's true. I mean, we really do. We have a nice, it's small right now. We keep inviting people in. I met a guy at UPS, and he took your course. So I invited him to our group, you know, and sent him a text and told him how to get to our group. We want as many people together as possible, because, you know, we are stronger in numbers. There's no doubt about it.
And that's the loan signing system way. We're not competition. We're each other's colleagues. And you hear it. $16,000 almost signing agent literally have that abundance mindset that I'm so want all of us to have. It's just, it makes me feel so good. Like, I didn't know that backstory between you and Patrick. I mean, Patrick's one of the original LSS students too. He went to the very first conference 3 years ago. So I love me some Patrick. This is great. I know you kind of connected with them. It makes me so happy. One last time. Is you just picked up the phone?
Oh yeah, I just called him. I just said, hey, I just wanted to know, you know, hey, I had a signing with a gal that used to work for you. That's what I said. I mean, I sounded like probably a total idiot. Just wanted to let you know that, you know, I'm here local in Kansas City, and I'm a mobile notary. So just curious, you know, if you use mobile notaries. And honestly, because they're 45 miles, you know, well, it's about 35 miles for me, about 45 minutes to get to them. I still drop docs to them. I still pull up on, you know, in the morning and say, hey, I got your docs, because I want them to see me.
The title company's 45 minutes.
It is.
And you're still keep doing the extra mile. A lot of people think they only need to market to title companies that are 5 minutes from their house, 10 minutes from the house. It's like, open yourself up, right?
Yeah.
And you're now making thousands of dollars off this title company that's 45 minutes away. But I think that's another important nugget. And that's why I love this. You know, you see it, the true mindset of a real signing agent, right? I think there's this myth that all these 10,000 or more signing agents have these title companies that are 1 or 2 minutes from their house. That's not real life.
No.
But what real life is there's business if you're willing to go get it. And you are marketed to a title company that's 45 minutes away from your home. And I don't want that to be overlooked by any of our students, right? I mean, you're doing $16,000 a freaking month, man. And you're marketing a title company that are 45 minutes away from your home. So I'm hoping other signing agents and students are listening to this and realize that that's what a $16,000 a month signing agent does. Is they don't stop, they outwork everybody, they go above and beyond, they take 90-mile signings, you know, because you do $16,000 a month. It's not like you're not working hard and you're not outworking the next signing agent. I think that is really inspiring. And thank you for sharing all that. That's the life of a real signing agent.
I do a good job. I don't miss anything. I did 148 signings last month, and I had zero mistakes. So they realized that I'm good, but it gave me an opportunity to show them that I was good.
$16,000 in a small town in Missouri. I don't know how that's not inspirational to anybody who lives in a small town in this country. You say to yourself, there's not a ton of title companies. There's not a ton of homes, but yet you're still making $16,000 by piecing together $100 signings, $125. And that's what the best part of this business is. Yes, there are parts of the country that get $150 or $250 a signing. But we have students in those markets who aren't doing $16,000. You're doing $16,000 in a market that pays 100, 125 a signing, maybe 150 signing if you're lucky, and you're still doing $16,000. And that's about mindset, right? It's about outworking everybody else. It's about following a system. And I just hope everyone's inspired, you know, whether they live in LA or they live in a small town Missouri, like $16,000 is absolutely possible no matter where you live.
Well, I think even in the smaller towns, you have more of a niche because you can get out into the country, you know, and do those signings where it's like, I've never even heard of Holt. Where is Holt, you know? And they'll be like, well, it's about 67 miles north of you. And I'll be like, okay.
Done.
I'll do it. All right.
I love it.
Let me know what time to be there.
You know, the small town notaries think it's a hindrance being in a small town. I actually think it's the opposite. It's easier to dominate a small town than it's easier to dominate a large city. So where you made what you lose in volume and mortgage volume, you gain because you don't have that much competition, if that makes sense. And so whether it's you in Missouri or Julie Shepard in Idaho, she lives like in the very skinny part of Idaho, right next to the Canada border, and she does $10,000 a month. So, you know, you students in the small little niches, there's actually, I think it's easier for you. So if there's someone else watching this in a small town in America, you know, don't think that you can't make $16,000 in a town of 50,000 people. Let's go.
Yeah.
So let's kind of go into the last part of these interviews. You know, there's a lot of people who are just kind of on the fence about being a signing agent because they're worried about that one thing, you know. So I'm always asking successful signing agents, you know, what is something in the beginning that you did, which you're nervous about, that at the end you weren't nervous about? Or now they're looking back and you're no longer nervous about it?
Well, I mean, now I just kind of feel done because I was like, is this real? Is this something that I can really, is this something that you know, even though the lady was in my house and said, hey, you know, yeah, they pay, you know, it used to be this and now they only pay $75 and that kind of thing. And I'm thinking $75 an hour, that's a lot of money, you know? I live in Blue Springs, Missouri. I'm not, you know, I don't live in New York, but that's a lot of money for anybody, I would think. Anyway, so once I started looking into it, I just really wondered, is it real? You know, is it really something that, you know, if I only got 4 signings a month, or, you know, who's going to be sending me the signings? Is it, you know, is it a scam? Or, you know, for people like you know, for people with mortgages, you know, you hear about scams for mortgages all the time. I mean, it's beat into your head. Don't do this and don't do that with your mortgage. So I did a lot of research and I came upon you, and I'm blessed I did. It has changed my life. It really has. I'm working harder than I've ever worked. I do want to learn about the signing service. I'm definitely taking that course, but yeah, if you just You got to know that it is real.
I,
It's, I'm
well,
walking proof right here.
I appreciate you saying that because there's some people I get emails every day. Is this real? Is this legitimate? Is it what is a signing agent? I thought notaries can only charge $5 a stamp. There's no way they get paid $75 an hour. And so I appreciate you talking through
It
that. You
is.
have those thoughts because I get the
It,
emails every you can imagine. Oh, you're a scam, Mark. I'll try to take
I bet.
you know. Uh, so I appreciate that very, very much that you have that same thought as well, and then you talk through people through it. Let's just kind of end with this. If someone's out there and they're saying, "Wow, Melanie, you did $16,000." I mean, inspire somebody of what's possible. Like just end with something inspirational. Tell people they can also do it if Melanie can do it.
You can do it, but you got to do what others won't do so you can have what others won't. You know, you got to do what they don't do and you'll have what they don't. You'll always have it. You got to be willing to go out and do the extra, so that they'll have, so that they know you have their back.
I love
Um,
it.
you do the 9 o'clock at nights for them when someone cancels. You just do it. You go, yep, let me get those printed off. I'll get out there as soon as I get done. And that's what you do.
I love it. You just got into the mindset of a $16,000 month signing agent. Thank you so much for being here. It is a Sunday, so thank you for spending part of your Sunday with me and more who's going to watch this to inspire them. If you can do it, they can do it. So one tip you'd give another signing agent to help grow their signing agent business, what would that be for you?
My biggest tip would be don't compare yourself to others. You can't compare. I started comparing myself because I was like, wow, that Bill Zuniga, look at him, look how much money he makes and that kind of thing. Well, he's in a different part of the country than I am. But then I started looking at how many signings he did. And I thought, that's what I can focus on. If I can do that many, the money will come, you know? So I did, so he did 118, I think, one month that I had noticed because he puts his numbers up and then how many he's done. So I did 100. I said, I'll do 118. So I did. I did 148.
I think it's very powerful because a lot of our students get caught up in the journey. Oh, this person did 8,000. This person did 10,000. This person did 15,000. This person did 20,000. And you got caught up in that. I think that's very normal and natural. So I appreciate you saying that. And so I think the best tip is just focus on your journey. And then ultimately,
Yeah.
you said something at the very end, which hopefully I didn't talk over, and that is, focus on who you serve.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean by that is when you serve others, abundance comes your way. There's no way around it. So the more people you serve, when you're sitting at the table, you get to know those people. You're serving them. You're providing them a service for something. It's their biggest financial purchase of their lives. They are nervous that because in this online day and age, they're nervous somebody's trying to take advantage of them. And it's your job to put them at ease. And it's your job to make sure that they have a good experience. And that's what I mean by serve. So I can do that serving right now in 35 minutes, I want to be able to do that as much as I can and help people feel comfortable in a short amount of time to get their needs met.
I love it. I love how we just dug into a mindset of a $16,000 signing agent. That is, the most important sign you have is a signing you're at. That you actually care about the signing. The borrower isn't a dollar sign to you, but it is somebody who you're helping them with for some of us, our biggest investment we ever make in our lives. And so it's more than just a transaction of like, I'm here to collect signatures. No, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to make sure that this experience is good, because if you serve them, everything else kind of falls into place. And I love that. And that's what makes you so successful is you don't see a dollar sign. You don't see a transaction. You see a moment. And it's a moment that you're sharing and helping, and to use your word, serving. And I think that's a really cool tip, and going back to the kind of the tip you're having for the signing agents, about not comparing your journey. Talk about it. Like when you did $1,800 a month and you saw that someone else was doing 5 or 10, were you saying that you kind of felt discouraged and you realized that I need to stop feeling like that?
Yeah, I did. I did because I can't, it's different here than it is on the East Coast or the West Coast or, Northeast, Northwest, whatever. It's different here. We don't, you know, $75 is not unusual to see from a signing service around here. And I was happy to take them. I was happy to take anything I could. And when I first got started, but here I was, I did the same amount as someone else, and I would be like, they made so much more. How am I going to do it? There's not a ton of title companies in the Kansas City area. There's only so many homes. So what I did was I just started, okay, comparing the numbers. I can do 20 signings in a week, and whatever that is, then that's okay. But my journey changed in the month of March when I realized this was real, because I had surgery in February. I was out for a week, or well, longer than that. I worked for 11 days in the month of February, and I made $3,400. I I knew it was real then. So I couldn't wait to get back out there and get moving again. And then in April, with a changed mindset, I ended up making 6,600 or 65, 6,600. And then last month, total different mindset. And I think good things come to you when you have the right mindset anyway.